Okay, it's Monday morning, and it's live with the Estradas again.
It's not morning anymore.
Oh gosh, you're right. It goes
It
by
flew
too
by.
fast. Too fast. So let's jump into our Monday market report. Let's go through what's going on in the Denver real estate market. We're breaking down what's really happening out there. And what are you guys seeing? You guys seeing a pickup?
Yes. Actually.
I kind of do too.
Yeah.
So, just want to go through some quick stats. We'll keep it simple. Median home price around 585. That's up about 2% from last month. Average days on market 34 days, which means homes are still moving, but slower than a couple years ago. Inventories around 6,700 active listings. That's up 15% year over year, which means more choices for buyers out there. Interest rates. I was looking at the 10-year treasury and right around breakfast time. And let me just see where we're at right now, because that's what I do. I eat.
That's your newspaper.
I eat the 10-year treasury for breakfast. So, let's see. We're down. We're down slightly from Friday, so that's kind of cool. So if you're looking to lock in your interest rate, now would be a good time. I just locked one this morning and saved them a few bucks from this time Friday, so that's always good. Biggest shift, move-up buyers are making a comeback. So in this market, if you're moving up, meaning you're upgrading or buying a bigger home than you're currently living in, there's actually some advantages to doing that right now. Mm-hmm. So what does it mean to be a home buyer right now? I'm thinking we got more negotiating power. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I agree with that.
Well, and more to choose from. I think that's the number that stuck out to me today when we were talking about these numbers this morning. I was like 6,700. I haven't seen that number in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, when we talk about 23 and 24, we were living in the like 2,000 to 2,500 properties on market. 6,700, that really stood out to me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, total, we're about almost 10,000, but about a third of those are under contract. So you got to be in the top third to get an acceptable offer. So as a seller, still pricing matters. Pricing strategically is more important than ever. There's no more, let's just list it high and see what happens kind of mentality. And if you're an investor right now, there's some hidden gems out there sitting a little bit longer on the market and waiting for your offer. So
can we talk about that for 1 second, though? I'm just curious, the conversation that you're having, because we all have very different types of conversations with our sellers, or when we go on appointments, we all communicate things differently. How are you guys communicating to sellers that say, let's start high and we can always come down?
I've never had a seller say that they're glad they did that. They never say, oh, you know what? I'm so glad that it took longer to sell and we took less. So that approach does not work in any market, really. I always have the mentality of let's start at market or slightly below. Let's get a lot of eyeballs on it. Let's use the offer management system that I got multiple offers on some of our challenging listings. And let's try to bid it up instead of having to come down later. I think that's just a better approach. Mm-hmm. I'll go to the grave saying that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, I just wanted to touch on that because so many agents out there will say, no, we don't want to do that, but don't explain why. And there's nothing worse in real estate than trying to chase the market because you will never, ever catch it. And So I just think I just wanted to touch on that for, sellers who have the mentality of we can always come down later. You 99% of the time you don't get the option, and when you do decide to come down, you're going to probably double what you're going down with that model.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
Well,
because
here's
buyers. Oh, you
ahead,
go
buddy.
ahead. Oh, well, buyers automatically think that there's something wrong with it the more time it's on the market. So when you try that and it doesn't work, you're really hurting yourself if that does not work. So you're gambling on your house, because that's what anyone says. I mean, most of the time sellers are going to buy another house. And so when they go to the buyer's perspective and I present the same situation, like, hey, what do you think about this house? It's been on the market for 120 days. Their answer is, why has it been on the market for 120 days? What's wrong with it?
There you
So
go.
it's going to hurt them.
Put yourself in the buyer's shoes. And
Mm-hmm.
we have a 2-week window where there's excitement, there's buzz, it's a new listing, people want to go see it. So after 2 weeks, our traffic starts to go like this. Like we've peaked right around 2 weeks. It's no longer a new listing, quote unquote. The excitement has kind of dipped. And that's the window of opportunity to maximize your price. And if you're of the mentality that we're just going to price high and come down, how does that even work? It doesn't work. And I'll tell you one other pet peeve on pricing, and then we'll move on. One more pet peeve. I seem to have these a lot, so I apologize. I apologize, Facebook and social media, Instagram friends. Please don't ever price your home at, say, $499,900. Why is that? Because you're going to miss all the buyers at 500,000 and above. So you're going to attract 450 to 499.9, and if buyers are looking at 500 to 525, you're going to miss that whole segment of those buyers. They will not see your home. So please, if your real estate agent tries to talk you into some retail gimmick that doesn't work, and let's price your home at $499.9 because it's not $500. These buyers are not stupid. They know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're only doing yourself a disservice. So don't do that. There. I'm ready to move on. All right.
okay.
I like that.
So-
That was a great tip. That was a great tip, though.
You're welcome, buddy. That's what I'm here for.
After 26 years, we finally got it.
I got one tip for you.
We're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere.
All right. So I think that's it for our market report. I mean, real estate doesn't change a whole lot week over week, but if you want a snapshot of what's going on in your neighborhood, or if you want to talk about a strategy, whether you're looking to buy an investment home, or you're renting and you want to buy your first home, let's set up a strategy call so we can talk about your unique situation. And everybody, first time home buyers are always like, are there any first time home buyer programs out there? And my answer is always, it depends. Okay. It depends on your situation. It depends on how much you make at your employer with your employment. It depends on what your credit score is. It depends on where you're moving to. So there's a lot of variables out there that we need to sit down and actually have a call, look at the full picture to determine which loan program is best for you and put a strategy behind it. It's worth the 15, 20 minutes sitting down with us. It could save you a lot of time, a lot of frustration, answer a lot of questions, and get you in a direction that's going to put you in the situation to have success in this market. So,
well, again, I think it's education. I think there's a lot of misconceptions around first time home buyer programs. And that's usually the first thing that buyers do say to us. It's like, tell me about these first time home buyer programs. I need a down payment. Tell me what they are. And it is not black and white. There are so many different variables, and I think that there's not enough information put out there that actually encompasses what it is. You know, sometimes they have higher interest rates. Sometimes you have to pay it back. Sometimes you don't. Like, there's all these different things. And so to just have a blanket, like, I just want down payment assistance. I just want a first time home buyer program. That isn't the greatest way to enter into the market if this is your first time.
Yep. Good point. Good point.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that I want to bring up is it's really easy for us to sit here and pull data and share this data with all of you. And any real estate agent can get this data. We all get it from the same place. But it's important to ask your agent, what are you personally seeing in the market? Are your personal listings moving? Are you having to do price reductions? What are your clients doing? How many properties are your buyers having to look at before they get an accepted offer? Like, asking specific questions about that specific agent is important to know, okay, this is a good fit for me, or I feel like I'm prepared, or I feel like I'm empowered. Because sometimes, you know, like I said, agents can grab all the information from all the same place that we do, but it's really important right now to have an agent that's in the market on a daily basis. Because last week we had a little bit of different information than we do this week, because this weekend was a little bit crazy and we saw a huge uptick in activity, and we got 3 properties under contract within the last 7 days, which we were kind of sitting here twiddling our thumbs trying to figure out what we can do to get some stuff going. And then all of a sudden it kind of took off. So, you know, if you met with an agent a month ago who said this, odds are it is not that anymore. So you just need to make sure that you're asking those questions as well. Like, what are you personally seeing in the market?
Yeah, totally. Let me just see if I could share my screen here. Do you see the 10-year treasury?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the last 5 days. So you can always go to just Google 10-year treasury. CSNBC is usually the first one that pops up. And I always go back 5 days and 1 day. So over the last 5 days, you see interest rates fall a little bit. So what happens when interest rates fall? There's activity in the market. We got 3 under contract last week just because the slight dip, it's not much, guys. It's maybe an eighth of a point, difference. And that like brought a lot of buyers into the market. And can you imagine if there's a quarter or a half a point decrease in the interest rate, what the market's going to do? It's
Well,
going to
so
be
when you
more.
talk about an eighth of a point, Ruben, because this is your department, obviously, I know it's small, but what is that difference in purchasing power? If you were teetering on a fence and that eighth of a point happens, does that
it's like
change?
it's about a $10,000 purchasing power difference, depending on the loan amount, of course. But, yeah, that's on average about 10 grand. So if you're looking at 390 at a higher interest rate, and rates dip, you can move up to 400, which could be a whole nother category of homes to look at.
Yeah.
And that's huge. So in that's way, when they step up to that price point and they're like, oh, I'm going from a 2-bedroom to 3 bedrooms, or I'm going to 1 bathroom and 2 bathrooms, or I'm going from no garage to a garage. That's when they pull the trigger. And they got to pull it fast, because we don't know how long interest rates are going to stay here. So they could go up this afternoon.
And again, it's about education. I feel bad sometimes for buyers who come into the market and they're like, oh, well, 60 days ago, I talked to my lender and this is the rate they gave me and this is the payment, and they say I'm qualified to this. It's like, no, if you're not talking to your lender every single day and making sure that that's still what it is. I mean, you guys just saw that chart and saw the volatility of what's happening right now. If you're not having those conversations on a daily basis, you are way behind in the market. You will never be able to keep up. These are conversations right now, anyway, that need to be happening on a daily basis. What are interest rates doing? How many homes are on the market? Like you need to be having pretty much market updates. If you're active in the market, you need to be having market update conversations with your agent and your lender every day.
Yep. Okay. What else is going on? What do we got on tap this week? Tomorrow we have Tuesday tip, right?
Yeah.
We got a tip. I might even have a guest for you to provide a tip. I'm waiting on confirmation, so stay tuned on that. Wednesday, what do we got on tap for Wednesday, Tiana?
Well, it's Wealth Building Wednesday, so we will be talking more about creating.
Might have another guest for everybody.
Yeah,
Sorry.
creating opportunities in your wealth building, different diversification ideas, even building wealth through real estate, whatever that may be. So we'll have more conversation on that.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch our last Wealth Building Wednesday, we had it with the Judds, who talked about how to protect yourself against the volatility in the stock market. And they even talked about a cool concept called infinite banking, which I got a lot of interest as far as messaging and people talking to me about that there was some really, really big interest behind that. So if you didn't catch that, go back to our last week's episode. It's on one of our feeds, and you'll be able to check that out. And then Thursday, what do we got? Or go to the YouTube channel. Yep, it's all there. Yep. Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
Thursday is Thoughtful Thursday, so we will be focusing a little bit on mindset and how to stay positive and all the ooey gooey stuff. We'll talk about that on Thursday. And then we had Fun Friday, and we talked a little bit about maybe doing like a flashback nostalgia Friday, but I don't know. We'll see about that. And we also have bingo this week. So
yes.
Hey,
bingo.
Put the link in, buddy.
We'll put the link in.
Sign up for bingo. We got some cool prizes.
Please RSVP. We have some really cool prizes coming. If you haven't been to one of our bingos, we hold it in our clubhouse. It's free. Bring as many people as you want. We play 10 games of bingo. Ruben is the caller, and there are several bad dad jokes throughout the sessions. And then we just have bingo food, hot dogs, popcorn, nachos, all the things. And
can we get your mom to make some chili so we can make some chili dogs?
You want me to get my mom to make chili?
Mama number 2. Can you make some chili beans for some chili dogs?
I will ask my mother. Okay. I'm sure she will not mind.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, so all please right. We'll put the link to RSVP in the comments after we're done here. Please RSVP for that so we can make sure that we have enough food and space for everybody, because it does get pretty full. So
hey, Casey's got a question. Hey guys, Betsy and I have been kicking around the idea of finishing our basement as a studio apartment for one of the girls. I would love to get your input. Interesting. I am definitely a fan of that. Because you could always rent it out if your girls move on. So I think that definitely a win. You don't want to go overboard. You kind of want to, as a general rule, finishing basements, you don't want to exceed the condition of the levels above the basement. So if you've updated the kitchen, bathrooms, things like that, you want to keep the same kind of level of upgrades and updates throughout the home. So don't go like super nice and then not so nice in the basement, or super nice in the basement, not so nice above. So you want to have consistency. And then with the studio apartment, one of the other questions we get a lot is, should I pull a permit? And it depends on what you, so he's going exterior. Okay. So an exterior entrance, you're changing the structural on it. So yes, you will definitely need a permit on that. Mm-hmm. Whenever you change structural or move HVAC or things like that, you definitely want to pull a permit. So
I do think too, from another angle on that. We are seeing a lot of people starting to do this, not necessarily to rent it out down the road to somebody, but multi-generational living has really skyrocketed, especially since COVID. So a lot of people are looking for that option. Not that the Goddards are ever going to sell, because you guys will stay there probably forever. But in the event that you did or whatever, having that sort of separate space that either another kid could live in or in-laws or whatever is really, really prevalent in the market right now. Like that's pretty desirable for a lot of people right now. So I think that would be a plus as well.
Yeah. And also just want to know, if, Casey, are you going to build a kitchen down there, like a mini kitchen? So that would be a question too. Well, I mean, you're going to pull a permit, so you can do whatever you want after that. So it just gets a little tricky when you're in that gray area, when you're not going to do too big of changes. You want to make more like a mother-in-law apartment. I mean, they call it mother-in-law again, but it can be for anything. Kids, roommate, whatever it is. And then you just have like a little kitchenette, but not really a stove where it needs to be vented to the outside for exhaust. But if you want us to come take a look at it, that would be a good excuse for us to get together and then maybe go play some golf after. So.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
When do Betsy and I ever get to get in on the fun?
Never.
Okay. All right. I'll remember that.
Time to end.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. So before I get smacked in the head, I think we'll wrap it up with that. And we'll see everybody tomorrow, same time. And if you have any questions, you can always put them in the comments. We do respond to all of them. And hope you have a great week, and we'll see you tomorrow.